Hey, you everybody, Espresso Sloth here, and with the Nintendo Switch on pace to be Nintendo's best-selling console, and with about a year or two left in its life cycle, it leaves me wondering where are some of their classic franchises at? Today, we're going to be going over some franchises that seem to be absent from the Switch for one reason or another. But before we get on into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for future content and join us as we are on our way to hitting our first goal of 100 subscribers. All right, let's get on into it. Starting off with the one, the only Star Fox. Now, Star Fox may not be one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, only totaling about 7 games in the main line and 2 spin-offs including ports. But the fan base is very loyal and dedicated, waiting nearly 10 years in between mainline entries. That being Star Fox Command on the DS and Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, being a reboot to the franchise. A reboot that seems to have gone nowhere, seeing how the Wii U didn't do so hot and they have yet to port Star Fox Zero or even give it a sequel onto the Switch. Now, we're still unsure why Star Fox Zero has yet to be ported from the Wii U to the Nintendo Switch, but most like to believe that it's due to the game using the Wii U tablet controller as its main method of the second screen being a more accurate viewpoint. Even though the game is compatible with the Wii U Pro controller, we may never know why this game has yet to be ported until it's either ported or we get an official word from Nintendo. Now, a port isn't the only option Nintendo has with the Nintendo Switch for a Star Fox game. We could have gotten a sequel to the game, or even a remaster of one of the older Star Fox games, seeing how they're also in a remastering phase right now. I think a remastered Star Fox 64 would have done good, especially with some online capabilities and an updated control scheme. But I guess we're going to have to wait maybe another 10 years before we can do another barrel roll and we can call the game Star Fox 00. Now let's swing on over with the King of Swing, Donkey Kong. While yes, we do have a couple Donkey Kong games on the Nintendo Switch, being Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, a port of the Wii U version from 2014, and a remake of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which is more of a Mario game. We actually haven't seen Donkey Kong in almost 10 years with a new game. Seeing how we got Donkey Kong Country Returns back in 2010 on the Wii, and a follow-up 4 years later with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, it makes you think, why hasn't the Switch gotten its own Donkey Kong Country game, or its own Donkey Kong Country game in general? Now, normally each Nintendo console, since the N64, gets its own original Donkey Kong game. The N64 getting Donkey Kong 64, the GameCube having Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and the Donkey Konga games, while the Wii U gave us Donkey Kong Country Returns, and the Wii U giving us its follow-up, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, getting later ported to the Switch. But yet, the Switch has yet to receive its very own original Donkey Kong game. I know there have been rumors for the past 2 years about a game similar to a Donkey Kong Country 64 game, but those are just rumors, and we haven't seen anything solid yet about those. So until Donkey Kong decides to swing on back to the Switch, or maybe the Switch successor, we'll have to wait for Donkey Kong Country to do a return. Hopefully by 2025. Alright, I hope you guys are ready, because it is time. What time, you're asking? It's Wario time! That was bad. Remind my editor to take that out. Oh wait, I'm my own editor. I don't pay myself enough for this. It's staying in. Okay. Now, we do got a couple Wario games on the Switch, but those are WarioWare games. The Wario I'm talking about is the Warioland franchise. The last time we got a new Warioland game was all the way back in 2008 on the Wii. The game looks beautiful though, hand-drawn art style. Check it out if you haven't. But I think it's about time that Wario gets to go on another adventure to get some treasure. and he should be able to bring his friend Waluigi along with him. Just imagine what Nintendo could do using the Super Mario Wonder engine with the zaniness of Wario and Waluigi. And the fact that they're not in it to save the princess, they just want some money and to cause some trouble. Fame and fortune, baby. Plus, it could be the chance that Waluigi needs so he can finally get his invitation to Smash Brothers and join the rest of the Mario crew. There's plenty of stuff Nintendo could do with a new Wario Land game that they can't do with a Mario Land game. But maybe a remaster of Wario World from the GameCube, or even a collection of the older Wario Land games, and include the Virtual Boy one, might hit the Switch sometime. But until then, we're stuck with these micro games. But at least there's no microtransactions with them. And lastly, let's talk about a franchise we might not be seeing ever again. That franchise being Chibi Robo. Now, Chibi Robo first appeared in his debut game on the GameCube back in 2005, titled Chibi Robo.
He said it! He said it!
Now, many of you probably don't know Chibi Robo because most of his games have not sold very well, being on the DS or a downloadable only game. And his last adventure was in 2015 with Chibi Robo Ziplash, with most people only buying it for the Chibi Robo amiibo that came with it. Now, Chibi Robo Ziplash was just a simple side-scrolling platformer, which failed to meet expectations of sales, even though it had low to average review scores. The sales overall did not go very well, and it was considered a failure, and is considered to be the final game in the Chibi Robo franchise. But maybe a HD port of the original Chibi Robo could revitalize interest in the franchise and taking it in a new direction instead of going from side scrollers back to what made it great and original to begin with. Now I know there's plenty more of Nintendo's franchises that have yet to make their debut on the Switch, like Golden Sun, F-Zero, Custom Robo, but those were the ones I wanted to go over today. If this video does good, maybe I'll make a follow-up talking about those other franchises that have been dormant for a little bit longer. Alright everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have an awesome day.